word problem. It's actually going to, I feel like it's going to be easier than you think. Because when you are using inequalities, you can actually think your way to figure out which one you need, I think, in my opinion. Anyway, we have two different inequalities. We have, for less, you can have less or less than equal to. For greater, you can have greater than or greater than equal to. Okay, those are your four options. It says use keywords to help you write an inequality representing the balance of each person's checking account below. Okay, so it says Sue has a maximum of 120 in her account. Okay, first of all, who are we talking about? We're talking about Sue. And she has and she has how much in her account?
120.
But it says keyword
Maximum.
Let's think about this. Even if we can't think about this word in this context, let's think about where else would you use maximum? You can have a maximum of 100 points on a test, right? Can you get exactly 100 points?
Yes.
That would mean that you can get equal to 100 points. So I'm going to underline. Now, can you get more or less than 100 points? Less. So Sue can get less than or equal to 120. You can think your way through these to figure out what inequality, okay? Chen's account balance is above 50. First of all, who are we talking about? Chen, all right? Chen, and the number that we're using is 50. What's the key word? Above. Above would mean is a synonym of what? Greater. That one was fairly simple. Angelica has no more than 230 in her account. Angelica, 230. Now, what is the key word here?
No more.
No more than. Okay.
Less than or equal to.
Okay. So, why would you say equal to? How would you explain that?
Because it says no more than. Because it's then.
Let me explain. She can't go.
Okay, so let's think of it in a context where I'm gonna put myself in a situation where I would use that. Or okay, so I give Jesus and some money, and I tell him you can't spend no more than $230.
That means I can spend.
Can you spend all 230?
Yes.
You can spend exactly 230, but you don't have more than 230, so you have to spend 230 or less. 230 or less. Good. Kareem has at least 72 in his account. Oh, Kadeem. I said Kareem. Kadeem. So we're going to use a K. The number that we're looking at is 72. What's the key word? At least. Okay.
It's also less than or equal to.
Let's think about this. You need, in a different situation, you need at least a 70 to pass this class. You need a 70 exactly or more.
Oh.
Greater than.
Yeah, that's it. Shut up, Kennedy. I don't hear you answering.
Bo's account has no less than 15.
Bo.
Talking about Bo.
Yeah. Bo.
15.
That's just
What's the key word?
No
Less
less
than.
than.
No less than.
Okay.
Shut up. You.
If it can't be less, it has to be.
Greater.
Mhm.
Equal to.
So greater than.
You cannot make less than a 70. Can you make exactly a 70?
Yeah.
Yes. Or more. I always like to put those phrases or those words in a different context to make it personal to me. Okay? All right. We can use linear inequalities and their graphs to solve problems in real world situations. So, Kel and Eric are throwing darts at a target. Darts that land in white regions earn 2 points, and darts that land in gray region earn 4 points. If Kel scored no more than 40 points, write an inequality. Now it says X represents the number of what?
Darts.
That landed on?
White.
So X is white. And Y represents the ones that landed in where?
The red.
Okay.
Sorry, red.
When you write these, you're going to write them in standard form just like we did the day that we did the standard form lesson, okay? I'm throwing darts I'm throwing white darts, and I'm throwing darts that land on gray. The total is what?
40 points.
40 points. Okay. Now, it says he scored no more than, what inequality did we say that one was?
Less than or equal to. More.
Yeah. No, you're right. Now, how many points? Since my total represents the amount of points, I need to assign some type of amount of points to my x and my y value. Okay, so how many points is my x value worth? X is white.
2.
White region earns 2 points.
Oh.
Y is gray. The gray region earns
4.
4 points. Okay, 2 points per white region, 4 points per gray region.
Now we solve.
Now it says, if Eric, does it say to solve?
Huh?
Does it say anything about solving?
Oh, man.
No solving involved here. If Eric scored at least 52 points, write another inequality. Same thing. X represents white, Y represents gray. But this time, oh yeah, we were talking about Kel. Now we're talking about Eric. Okay, so it's a different inequality. We know that our total goes at the end. We're throwing darts that land in the white plus the gray region. What's the keyword for this one, for my inequality? Okay, he earned at least, or he scored at least 52. So what inequality do we use for this one?
Greater than or equal to.
Greater than or equal to. And once again, my white region is worth 2 points. My gray region is worth 4 points. Okay. If 52 represents points, my coefficients need to represent points. Got it? All right, C. Would it be possible for Kel to have had 15 darts land on white and 3 darts land on gray?
Multiplication.
Okay. So first thing we know is that we're going to use the inequality or the equation that we wrote down for Kel. So I'm going to write 2x plus 4y is less than or equal to 40. Okay. And we want to plug in the information that they're giving us. 15 darts that land on white. So where would I plug that number in?
Next to the 2.
You would plug it in for x. And then 3 darts that land on gray. So you plug in the 3
The y.
for the y. Okay. You're like, is it because I'm not counting you tardy that you just walking slow? What? Were you rushing? I don't feel like you were.
I was.
Oh my God, I just said all that on my video. Anyway, 2 times 15 plus 4 times 3, what do we get?
30 plus 12.
And 30 plus 12 is?
42.
Oh.
Shut up. Call me another life.
Now, is 42 less than or equal to 40?
No.
False. So, is that a possible situation?
No.
No. Not a possible situation. Okay, number 2. Leon. Leon has a jar full of dimes and quarters. The total value in the jar is at least 30. So I'm going to keep that at least in mind. Okay? When we're writing an inequality, we need to identify the variables. X represents what?
The number of quarters in the jar.
X is my quarters. And Y is my
Dimes.
dimes. Okay? So I know when I add up my quarters and my dimes, they're going to add up to at least $30. At least means which inequality we would use.
Less than or greater than or equal to.
Remember, if you need at least a 70 to pass the class, you need exactly 70 or more. So greater than or equal to. Now, 30 is a type of what?
Not money.
It's money. So my coefficients need to represent some type of price. What kind of price can I attach to quarters? 25 cents. How do you write 25 cents?
You 0.25.
Yeah.
And then for
And what about for dimes?
0.10.
They go by tens.
Kaylee, put that away. We're doing notes. All right. Now, is it possible for Leon to have 100 quarters and 50 dimes? How can we tell?
We plug them in.
We plug in 100 for quarters, 50 for dimes. So 0.25 times what?
100.
100 for quarters plus 50, no, plus 0.10 times 50 dimes. Greater than or equal to 30. Okay. What do you get when you do that?
25 plus 5.
Which is
30.
30. Now, is 30 greater than or equal to 30?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's equal to. It says greater than or equal to. So we're going to use the or equal to, right? So yes, it is possible for him to have 100 quarters and 50 dimes. If Leon has a total of 90 quarters in the jar, write an inequality for the possible number of dimes. This time, they give us the amount of quarters to plug in, but we don't get an amount for dimes. So let's see how that looks in my inequality. So we have 90 quarters, 0.25, times 90 for the quarters, 0.10. Why? We do not know how many dimes. Greater than or equal to 30. Now look at your inequality. We only have one variable. What can we do? No.
Why not me?
You could solve 0.25 times 90 and then subtract that.
Correct. You solve. Very good. You solve. So let's solve. Before we move it over, let's go ahead and take care of that. What is 0.25 times 90?
22.5.
I could have done it in my head, means
22.5. Okay, let's keep solving. Now, how do I solve for y?
Subtract the
Do not subtract the 0.10.
What's that? No, that's
Up it on.
Don't you say that on my video. 30 minus 22.5?
7.5.
Thank you. And then last step,
divide.
I ran out of space, so I know you guys are writing pretty small. All right, and then we get y is what? Bring down the greater than or equal to 75. Okay. Remember, when we are solving inequalities, it's very important to pay attention to that last step. If you divide by a negative, the sign flips. In this case, we divided by a positive number, so the sign did not flip. Now, y is greater than or equal to 75 in words. What would you say? 75 or more what? Dimes. Okay. Y represents dimes, so 75 or more dimes. Flip it over when you're ready. All right. Table represents the price per pound of different berries at a farmer's market. Write an inequality. X represents what?
Pounds of strawberries.
Okay, so since we have a table, I'm just gonna write X next to strawberries, and Y represents what?
Blackberry.
Blackberries. I'm just gonna put a Y here. Okay. Now we know strawberries cost $2.50 per pound, so I know somewhere I'm gonna have a 2.50x. Blackberries are 4 per pound, so 4y. I don't know where I'm gonna put it yet, but I'm gonna put it somewhere. Jamie wants to spend a what?
Maximum of $20.
Okay, so when we put it all together, 250x, my strawberries plus my blackberries maximum of $20.
Less than or equal.
If you only have $20 to spend, can you go over that?
No.
So you have to stay under it. Can you spend exactly $20?
Yes.
Yes. If you can spend that exact quantity, if you can use all $20, that is equal to. All right, now it says, Jamie has 2 pounds of strawberries in the basket. Write inequality to represent the possible pounds of blackberries. The only information that I have that I can plug in is 2 pounds of strawberries. Where am I going to plug in that 2? For X or for Y? For X. So 250 times 2 plus 4Y less than or equal to 20, and solve. 250 times 2. Okay. Now if I'm solving for Y, what number would I move over first? Okay. 4Y is less than or equal to 20 minus 5 is. And then, do we flip the sign?
No.
No, we're dividing by a positive number. So less than or equal to 15 divided by 4 will not simplify, but we're talking about money. So we need that 15 over 4 in what form?
Decimal.
Decimal. And what is 15 divided by 4?
33.4. I got stuck.
Is it?
3.75.
3.75. So how would I put this into words? How many possible pounds of blackberries?
3.75.
You can get that equal to sign. You can get exactly 3.75 pounds or less. I'm gonna put LBS for pounds. You can get exactly 3.75 pounds or less. Okay. Number 4, a restaurant. Local restaurant has a drive-through and dine-in option. In the last hour, the restaurant served no more than 70 customers. So, I'm actually going to move that word over. That's important to know. Write the inequality. X is for dine-in, Y is for drive-through. Since the X and the Y are right next to the word, I'm not going to rewrite it on the side, okay? But I know that between my dine-in and my drive-through customers, no more than, so less than or equal to, a total of 70. Now, what we are going to have in the future, a lesson where all we're going to do is write inequalities write inequalities and equations. When your total does not represent an amount and it represents an object, something you can't purchase, some type of object or item, I couldn't think of the word, an object or an item, the coefficient of your variables will be 1, okay? So I actually want to write this over here. Object, item, or people coefficient is 1. So 1x plus 1y. Why? Because we don't know exactly how many people. We don't know exactly how many items. You can attach a price to certain variables, but you can't attach a price to a person. Yes.
So wouldn't it look like X plus Y equals 70?
Less than equal to 70. Mhm. But I'm going to go ahead and put a 1 just because for me personally, I like consistency. If I have to attach a coefficient to something that's a price, I need some certain number to attach to something that's an object, even if it's the same number every time. Okay. All right. So we have that inequality. Next, explain. And then create the graph. Can I create a graph from something that's written in standard form? Can I create a graph from something written in standard form? What do you need in order to write something in order to create a graph? What 2 numbers?
The points.
What's up?
Order pairs?
You can't get ordered pairs from any equation. What information can you get from standard form? Can you get the slope? Slope is m. Do you see m in standard form?
No.
What would you have to do to find the slope?
Shut it.
You would have to solve it. You cannot get a point, you cannot get a slope from standard form. You have to first solve the inequality or solve the equation. And I'm pointing over there. I know I'm going up and down. I'm pointing over there, okay? So, the first thing I need to do is solve for y. And this is actually a one step. The only thing you do is move the x over, okay? So you get y is less than or equal to negative x plus 70. That tells you that your slope is
Negative 1x.
negative 1 over 1, and your y-intercept is
70.
Okay? Now, our graph still does not have titles. X represents dine-in, so my x-axis represents my dine-in customers. Y represents drive-through customers, so I need to label that as well. Drive-through. Okay? Now, my first point on this graph is going to be where?
0.70.
0.70. And then it says we're going to go what direction?
Up to the right. Or down to the left.
Up to the left or down to the
Right.
right. So down one, right one, down one, right one, down one, right one. Okay. This is an inequality. So the less than equal to symbol tells us what kind of line we're going to draw. Solid or dashed.
Solid.
And are we going to shade above or below?
Below.
Okay, so go ahead and connect those points, meaning no gaps. And shade it below. Shade lightly because we might have to plot a point somewhere. Now it says, explain how you could use the graph to determine the number of drive-through customers there were if the restaurant served 20 dine-in customers, okay? So I'm going to underline that part, 20 dine-in customers. Well, we see dine-in on which axis? The x-axis. Here's my 20 dine-in customers. If, I'm going to go to this point, which is 20, what, 50? If I have 20 dine-in customers, I can have a what? Maximum of what? 50 drive-through customers. So this point right here is telling me I can have 50, I can have 40, I can have 30, I can have 20, I can have 10, or I can have 0, right? So we can say you can have 50 drive-through
Or less.
customers or less, because all of those numbers are in the shaded region. That does include not just 40, 30, 20, 10, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 90, right? Any number below 50, but a maximum of 50. Is 50 included? Yes, 50 is included because it's on a solid line. Okay? Yes, question.
Couldn't you have also done it through the equation?
Yes, you could have also plugged in 20 into your dine-in customers. Yes. Or you can use the graph. Correct. All right. Lila's workout consisted of a combination of swimming and running. Lila burns an average of 8 calories for swimming. Underline that. And 12 calories for running. Okay? X represents what? Swimming. So we can write that as 8x because it's 8 calories per swimming. And
12.
what was the other? Y represents running. So my y-axis represents running.
Is it just like which one?
It'll always tell you X or Y. Or if it doesn't tell you that X represents something and Y represents something, you assign your own letter. So like I would have assigned probably not an S because an S can be confused with a 5. I would have used a random letter for swimming, and then for running I would have used an R, you know?
Oh.
You can assign your own letters as well. Anyway, 12 calories for running. And it said Lila burned what? Less than. Less than is literally the less than symbol, right? Less than 360 calories.
Oh, I put a greater sign. My first one was correct.
It also says then create the graph. Can I create the graph with the way my equality is written?
No,
You have to solve it.
You have to solve it. So this right here is not enough space for me to solve. I'm going to solve down here. Hopefully that's enough space. 8x plus, I don't know why I did R. I think it's because I said R. 12y is 360. All right, first step is to move x over by subtracting. Okay, and then you do what? Divide.
I got it.
And we're dividing by a positive number, so does the inequality flip? No, you get y is less than what? Negative?
Negative 2/3 plus
8 over 12 is 2/3.
Yes, it simplifies.
Okay, and 360 divided by 12?
30.
30.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, my slope is negative 2/3. My y-intercept is 30.
30.
That means we're going to start by graphing at 30.
The line's going to be dashed, and we're going to...
It's going to be dashed.
shape.
Oh, that is helpful.
We're going to go down what?
Down to 2. And
Mhm. Down 2 over 3. Down 2 over 3. Down 2 over 3. Okay. And yes, it is going to be dashed. So just draw some little lines in between. Okay. And we are going to shade below the line because it's less than. Okay. Now it says, is it possible for Lila swam for 30 minutes? Swimming is what? X or Y?
X.
So X for 30 minutes and ran for 10 minutes. Running is Y.
No.
So is 30-10 a possible point?
No,
Why not?
because not that. It's exactly on the line.
It is exactly on the dash line, so the answer is no. Correct.
Holy moly.
What? Did you say you're confused on that?
No,
Are you sure? I can explain it again.
I just saw someone else.
Oh, okay.
I saw this.
So swimming represents X, running represents Y. That's why it's 30 for your X point, 10 for your Y point. And 30-10 is graphed right here. It lands on a dash line.
Like